Don't you think life is kind of very fast? It seems like we were just starting the new year yesterday, and here we are in the end of the first month already. What happened to the time? It's just moving and not slowing down for anybody. We have to make sure we don't slip and fall because we have much to talk about. This time of year, talk of change is in everyone's mouth. But change doesn't just happen by itself. It takes action, and that starts with setting goals. Without goals, we're just drifting, waiting for things to happen instead of making them happen. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today: how to set the right goals for 2025. Before we get started, make sure you've subscribed. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for this. Welcome to Be the Glow. Number 1. Start with a life audit. If you're like me, you don't always talk about how you feel or what's really going on inside. But deep down, you know there are things that need to change. It's like a quiet voice telling you that something's off, but you ignore it. So, if you're feeling stuck or confused, maybe it's time to do a life audit. Look at your life, your habits, your choices, and your relationships. What's working? What's not? What's draining you? And what's giving you energy? Start with simple questions. How do I feel about my job? Am I taking care of my health? Do I feel connected to the people I care about? It doesn't have to be all at once. You can go through it slowly, piece by piece, and give yourself space to think. When you really look at your life, you might see that you've been going through a lot. But that doesn't mean you're living your best life. You need to feel more in control. And that starts with taking a hard look at where you are right now. No need to overthink it. Think about how you feel in the moment. Are you satisfied with how things are? Are there things that you've been putting off? Are there people or habits that are pulling you down? Doing a life audit doesn't mean you need to change everything overnight. It's just about getting a clearer picture of where you are right now and figuring out where you want to go. You can't fix what you don't see, so being honest with yourself is the first step. Number 2. Create a do-not-do list. For some people, a to-do list is not enough. You need to go further, not by going bigger, but by focusing on doing a few to-do items to the exclusion of all others. It's about setting elimination goals in addition to your achievement goals. The hallmark of successful people is often not what they choose to do, but what they elect not to do. They have the discipline and wisdom to say enough is enough before it's too much. They're the visionaries who understand where people make bad choices and therefore figure that it is best to avoid temptation in the first place. If you really think about it, all the basic precepts of a rather mundane-sounding doctrine such as investing instead of a shopping spree are part of this broader philosophy. Indeed, when you research decisions, you'll come to the conclusion that sometimes the best action is not taking any action. Your do-not-do list can also be thought of as a strategy of avoidance, helping curb your unproductive appetite for unhealthy living and indulgence. Setting such a list helps protect you from your worst inclinations. Sometimes the biggest breakthroughs come not from what you start doing, but what you stop. You mustn't fool yourself into thinking you're making progress when you're actually retreating. Doing nothing is sometimes the best strategy of all. Number 3. Set a goal you can finish in 1 month. Most of us set big goals for the new year. Too big. We want to save $1,000 each month, start a daily gym routine, read 100 books, wake up at 5 a.m. every day, or quit all social media forever. Did it work when you set these goals last year? No? Then keep watching. Set one goal you can complete in a month. Most people fail because their goals take too long to show results. Set one fast, something you can achieve in 30 days, and then set the next one after that. You'll be more likely to have a fast win and think, hey, I can do this. I'll set another one. Losing weight goals are so easy to quit. We taste a big piece of chocolate cake and say, I can take off that extra 1.5 pounds next month. But let me tell you something, that next month rarely comes. And even if it does, the cake keeps showing up too. It's a cycle. One small excuse today, one tiny delay tomorrow, and before you know it, The goal is buried under a pile of "I'll start agains." Nobody can live on the promise of someday. If you tell yourself you'll hit the gym 3 times a week starting next month, you'll probably spend the rest of this month feeling guilty every time you pass a mirror. It's pointless. Start now. Not next week, not on a clean Monday. Now. Skip one dessert, take one walk, save $1. It's boring, but it's real shit. And real shit sticks. Big dreams sound great when you say them out loud. "I'll lose 20 pounds by summer." Feels powerful for about 5 minutes. Then reality hits, and suddenly summer feels a lot closer than 20 pounds feels far. That's why big goals fail. They're too far away to feel real. Long deadlines give you an excuse to delay. You tell yourself, "There's still time," until there isn't. That's why 1-month goals work better. They create urgency. You don't have the luxury of pushing things off. It's now or never. Chop the big goal into something small enough that it's impossible to escape. It's boring, it's unexciting, but it works. Number 4, write a letter from December 2025. Pretend it's the end of the year and write a letter to yourself describing what you achieved, how your life has changed, and what you're proud of. For many people, this little exercise leads to the moment when they get truly inspired. It's because they have finally connected their personal vision of happiness with traditional goal setting. That combination puts the power back on their side, giving them a clear compass that keeps them motivated and strong, even when the road becomes a little tough. The more connected people are to their goals, the more likely they will stick with them and make them part of their lives. Your goals should feel right. You should want to race toward them, to begin taking steps to complete them, that you can see yourself shining when you do, and that you feel it in your bones. When you are in rhythm with your goals, not only do they become possible, but they also become probable. Think about it. Pick up the pen and write a letter on your way to a better life. Number 5, flip your regrets into goals. By setting goals that focus on the future, you'll help yourself focus your energy and attention on everything to come in the new year, rather than dwelling on things you wish had gone differently in the past. There's a simple way to do this. Flip your regrets into goals. Think about your biggest regrets from the past few years, whether you're sad you didn't travel more, regret that you didn't give enough time to look after your health, or that you didn't spend enough time working on your business. Turn those regrets into action. For example, you might wish you gave enough time to look after your health, but when you look at the reasons that prevented you from doing so, you might find that work didn't leave you enough free time, while evenings were lost to eating snacks and watching television. That insight might suggest sorting what you really want from your working life, while tackling the reasons that stop you from taking care of your health. This year, set goals that feel personal, goals that matter to you on a deep level. Not the ones society expects, not the ones that look good on paper, but the ones that years from now will make you proud. Because when you take the time to learn from your past, you're no longer trapped by it. Instead, you're building a future that's finally yours. You can't come out of this year and be the same as last year. You may be watching this and dealing with issues in your life. It's only a small bump in the road, or your life's bigger issues. However, no matter how bad things get and how much sorrow may be in your life, never ever set yourself back. You have to stay locked and focused to get through this and change your life. Let's do it together and create the good energy that both you and I need in this year. Don't forget to subscribe.